It's already live?
Yeah.
Yeah, go to TikTok. Click on the account and see if it's... It should show live at some point. Let's refresh.
Maybe scroll up to see if the live is there. No. Okay.
Your laptop
It's in the way.
standing.
Yeah.
So you can put it on your lap.
Put it on the table, on the chair. Or maybe he needs a chair to sit.
It's already on there. Yeah. We are on there.
Okay. Pull it out.
Could you find a way to make sure the live is there for TikTok? Yeah, maybe. I just... Yeah.
Yeah, it's come. Okay.
1 million, 2 million, 3 million checks.
Sound check, sound check.
It's excellent. That's why you put like that.
1 million, 2 million.
I think we are on.
Around.
Yeah.
Good morning, TikTok. Good morning, TikTok. Okay, so welcome back to another live session of... It's not on. Is it the computer or the images are glitching?
Yeah.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
Gone.
You're on there.
Okay. W's in the chat. W's in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome back to another session of Africa Talks Business. We are here again with Harish Dabasia. Today we are going to be talking about clarity. How clear do you need to be with your price, with your message, and with your purpose?
Yeah. With talking to over 200, businesses, local businesses, this is one thing that I see, people failing to do time and again. And I, also based my teaching and my mentoring on these three principles of, clarity of price, clarity of message, clarity of purpose. Let's start with an example, and let's start with an in-house failed example.
Yeah.
Kevin, you did an advertisement for a tennis tournament or a tennis event. How did it go, and why? What were your presumptions, and what clarity did you get to that?
Well, so the tennis event was about... It's a way of me trying to... Because as of now, I'm too interested in tennis. Just got myself a new pair of tennis balls yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I tried to invite people to the event, and then I realized the poster that I had put on said club, Kigali Tennis Club.
Okay.
And so when people saw the price, they were like, am I paying for a membership or am I paying for a single day event? So there was confusion around there. So after people called me and they were like, is it a membership or is it a single day? So at first I thought it was the price, so I changed the price to a lower price.
So from 35 you had gone to 16,000.
Yeah, to 16.
And
yeah.
then you're receiving calls. Oh, is it membership? Is it a day event?
Mm-hmm.
So you realize it's not the price that is a problem.
Yeah. It's just the people are not clear what it's all about.
Okay. So how would you do it differently now?
I simply changed the poster on the event, and then
Any success?
no successes yet. No successes yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Similarly, we have a number of clients, and at the moment we just acquired another client. He's a physiotherapist, and as a physiotherapist, he also calls himself a chiropractitioner.
Yeah.
And very few people know the meaning of chiropractitioners.
Yeah.
The people know that I suffer from back pain.
Yeah.
People know I suffer from joint pain. I suffer from tennis shoulder problem, or golf issues, or weightlifting issues.
Mm-hmm.
The pains that they all suffer, they know.
Yeah.
But they don't know who treats it.
Yeah.
So there is, and I say that, if you want to talk to or write a message to a general public, then it has to be something that a 10-year-old can understand.
Yeah.
And so, because, a 10-year-old niece should be able to understand your message, and that's how, so I say, okay, you're a chiropractor, you're a physiotherapist, that not everybody who has been prescribed a physiotherapist or a chirotherapist by a doctor knows what you do.
Yeah.
And most of his clients are not, they are walk-ins.
Mm-hmm.
And for walk-ins, you need to be specific on what you're treating, what you're fixing. And so we helped him clarify his message in sense that, I fix people's back pains, I fix people's shoulder pains, I fix people's, sports injuries, and things like that. And so it's a very simple thing, and he could increase his price if he has a queue of customers waiting.
Yeah.
His booking is full, then obviously there is dynamic pricing even in Uber and all these other tools. So it could be also used in practices as well.
Yeah.
So one is, okay, but most people are the biggest problem is that it's not the message, it's not the price.
Yeah.
Our own problem was that, the clarity of purpose. If you look at Elon Musk, when he came up with this concept of, taking humanity multiplanetary, 30 years back, everybody laughed at him.
Yeah. It was impossible.
Yeah, but there was no technology to enable that to happen.
Yeah.
But because he came up with this concept, he came up with this larger than life purpose, he found a way to get it done. He came up with the concept of reusable rockets, because rockets were originally one-time use only.
Yeah.
So, they'll become junk, space junk once they've been used. And, multi-billion pound equipments that turn and become junk in space,
Please flip the fucking camera, bro.
Yeah, you need to. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you have to pull it
Is
behind.
it that or?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So clarity of purpose and having a larger than life, a purpose is important, because it focuses your mind and it focuses your team's mind.
Yeah.
I myself am foul of this fault, because I had a larger than life purpose of making 1 million millionaires, but I was afraid to spell it out. I was afraid to clarify it to my audience. And this came because in the past experiences, every time I've, said big things, my closest and my dearest will cane me for it.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, they've always, I would get a phone call from my uncle or my father. My uncle is so-called, a father also figure for me. And Harish, why do you have to, talk big? Why do you have to, stand up, put your head out of the parapet and all that?
Putting your own on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so because of that experience, I had a publicity by the Times of the Times newspaper in London, where it described my success in my property ventures.
Yeah.
And this article fell in my uncle's lap. Oh, the first thing he does is pick up his phone.
He had to call you. What is it?
Harish, what are you? You just started this property business and you're going on the front pages of Times.
Yeah.
What is your intention?
Yeah.
And because of those bad experiences, you are trained to suppress your messaging, to suppress your goals, to suppress your dreams.
Yeah.
And I have had to pay a price for it.
Yeah.
We've changed it in the last month.
Yeah.
And as a result, we are seeing some result. We are seeing more engagement. We are seeing more clients.
Yeah.
So clarity of purpose is also very important. So for Elon Musk, it was making humanity multiplanetary. For me, it is helping over the next 25 years is helping 1 million millionaires.
Yeah.
But it is important to have this larger than life
goal
purposes.
Yeah.
Because it allows you to focus your mind. It allows your team to focus their mind, and it allows you to come up with solutions that didn't exist.
Yeah. Because now you're thinking bigger.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we've covered clarity of purpose.
Yeah.
What's the other clarity that you need clarity on?
Yeah. So before we go on to other clarities, you've just talked about purpose, and I want to invite all the business owners and that will be watching that if you want to ask about your business or you're struggling to grow, there is a number on the screen. You can always call in and we'll help you figure the problem out.
Yeah, and we've had over 230 one-to-one interactions with local businesses since I've been here for the last 4 months. And one thing keeps coming up again and again is that they're stuck.
Yeah.
People are not, they're in business, they've started businesses and they're not making money, they are making losses, and their businesses are not growing.
Yeah.
And, these problems can be fixed very easily, and, and results can be seen very quickly.
Yeah.
I spoke to, the physiotherapist, and the physiotherapist, started implementing many of these things.
Yeah.
And his bookings have already gone up. Yeah. So, okay. So clarity of purpose is done. What's the next clarity?
The next clarity that you talk about very much is the clarity of price. How important is clarity of price?
Okay, the biggest question and the biggest problem everybody tells me in Africa is that Africans are very price conscious.
Yeah, they cannot afford that.
Yeah, they're always looking for bargains, they're always looking for discounts, they're always looking for offers.
Yeah.
And it is true that the perception is that Africans are price conscious, but there is a contradictory here.
Yeah.
If you go to Simba supermarket or any supermarket over here,
why do they still buy?
Yeah, everything is fixed price.
Yeah.
Because there is clarity of pricing, there is clarity of display, and there is clarity of message.
Yeah.
You come to a supermarket,
ready to pay the price that is there.
Yeah, you go to the till and say oh, can I have a discount? They'll tell you,
no.
Go next door.
Yeah, go to the local shops.
Yeah, go to the market. Don't come here.
Yeah.
This is a supermarket, not a market.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So if for simple things like toothbrush, toothpaste, bread, milk,
Yeah.
you're not bargaining.
Yeah.
Why do you think you should bargain for any other
And other things.
commodity or business?
Yeah.
So and India used to also suffer from the same
The same problem.
same problem that you guys are facing in Africa at the moment. That you think Africans are bad at negotiating or bargaining. Bloody hell, just bargain with an Indian and you'll know. Indians are even the worst
Yeah.
bargainers. But India over the last 10 to 15 years,
Yeah.
it has moved away from this,
Unclear
confused
price. Yeah.
pricing, unclear pricing to clarity of price,
Yeah.
fixed prices. And businesses as well as the economy
Yeah.
is doing tremendously well.
Yeah.
Because people who go to the supermarket, they go because of clarity. They go, they know that the product will be standard.
Yeah.
There will be no tempering. It will be, the best quality that I can buy,
Yeah.
money can buy. It will be at the most reasonable price. And all my creams I'll find them in one place. All my breads, I'll find them in one place.
Yeah.
And not only that, they give you free parking. They give you a free bag. They give you all these things.
Yeah.
That's why middle class prefer to shop at that supermarket.
Yeah.
And it's the same with any product or service. People also want clarity.
Yeah.
They want clarity on price.
Yeah.
They, they don't want to be bargaining
Confused. Yeah.
for every item that they're buying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend in Nairobi who sells steel, and he's opened up a steel supermarket. You think there is supermarkets just for bread and butter, and he's created a supermarket for steel,
Yeah.
and he's doing more business
Yeah.
because everybody who knows they know that they'll get
The best price.
they'll get whatever quantity they want. They'll get it at a fixed price.
Yeah.
They don't have to ask for discounts. They don't have to negotiate for discounts.
Yeah.
It's just go, load it, take a bill, leave.
Yeah. Because the price is fixed.
It is fixed. Everybody knows that once they go there, it will be one of the cheapest price in town.
Yeah.
They can get whatever quantity they want
Yeah.
without them having to shift their lorries or whatever. It will be done. I have a family member in Uganda,
Yeah.
and he runs a very big construction company, but also does ready mix concrete and clay and all these things. And when he started his clay works, he ended up building a clay works factory because his lorries used to get stuck
Yeah.
at the previous clay works
Yeah.
for 2-3 days, and the lorry and the driver and the ton boy getting stuck was
the same
costing
time.
him more than the bloody tiles.
Yeah.
So he created his own tile factory, a clay factory,
Yeah.
and then it started charging 20% more.
Yeah.
So a lot of the usual buyers are arguing, why are you charging me 20% more? He's saying, I'm charging you 20% more, but I can guarantee that your vehicle will come on site and it will be loaded within 2 hours.
Yeah.
Just calculate how much time and money it is costing you for your vehicle and your drivers and a ton boy
Yeah.
sitting
No.
on the previous
On the
Clayworks
Yeah.
yard.
Yeah.
So initially they wouldn't
Yeah.
consider it, but then they realize once they get the message, and they started shifting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's price is never always the winning, especially if you negotiate on price. Then your competitor only has to lower it by £1 more or $1 more
Yeah.
to beat you.
Yeah.
So never compete on price.
Yeah.
Compete on service,
Value.
which is value, which is untangible.
Yeah.
Yeah, if a price, if I say my product is $4.99, somebody else will sell it at $4.90, dollars that's less than me, and the whole crowd will go to him.
And the market goes down.
Yeah, so but again, that's temporary. People will go there, they'll receive a bad service, and they'll come back to us.
Yeah.
So price, people complain about because it has become a tradition. It has become a ritual to go and to bargain with the vegetable.
Yeah.
woman.
Vegetable woman at the market.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you bring that same principle. You go to a gold dealer and you start bargaining. Oh, to a diamond dealer,
Yeah.
the guy will tell you, leave the shop, please.
First check the prices. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, price, clarity on price
Yeah.
is also important, and not everybody is buying the cheapest. And especially when something is too cheap,
Yeah.
it's not true. You are going to be prone to being conned,
Yeah.
or some foul game being played. Okay. Next message, clarity.
The next is the clarity of message.
Yeah, this is where I see the biggest improvement that is required. We had this clearing and forwarding agent, and his name is Joroge. He comes and says that my name is Joroge. I am a CEO of this company. I am based in this location. I said, Joroge, stop it.
Yeah.
Tell me what you do, who for, and why you're different. And the guy had to scratch his head, to come up with, an answer. But he did come up with something that I could use, and we improved on it.
Yeah.
And this is what he came up with. And he said that, I can help business owners clear their containers in 2 days compared to, 20 days.
Yeah.
I said, that's good, because, that is something that, people are looking for. It is something that I can help you sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we need to add another line. We need to add another soundbite, which is, what's the benefit of that?
Mm-hmm.
So the complete message goes like this. I help business owners clear their containers on the port
Yeah.
in 2 days compared to 20 days. That allows them to take their goods to market
Yeah.
and turn it into cash 18 days ahead of their competitors.
Yeah.
So that's, so now he introduces himself and then puts his name, Joroge, and his company and all that at the back. He does not start with, my name is Joroge, blah, blah, blah. He starts with the solution he provides, who for, what is the benefit of it. Then he says who he is.
Yeah.
And as a result of this, he's winning more businesses. Every networking event he's going, even if there are 2 or 3, clearing and forwarding agents in that group, because of his soundbite, he's attracting more attention. Even if, let's say he said this to you or me, and we don't need a clearing and forwarding agent,
Yeah.
but we'll remember his words, we'll remember his soundbite.
Yeah.
And we'll also say, oh, I don't need your services, but there is somebody who else needs it, and we'll start recommending him.
Yeah.
Just because he's got the right soundbite, he's got the right message.
Sure.
Yeah. So clarification of message, and there's another example I can give you about this. Chef that goes into people's homes. He goes to rich people's homes. He goes to ambassadors and events, big events, and cooks. I said, rich people don't have food issue.
Yeah.
They're not they can order anything from anywhere in the world. They can, their fridges are stocked with food. They have a chef at home.
Yeah.
So when a rich person is calling you to cook for them, for an event or something,
Yeah.
there is a reason for it. And if there are so many of you guys and you're not, he was complaining he's not getting enough clients.
Yeah.
He's not getting enough bookings. He's been trained in a 5-star, environment. He knows how to cook his food, but because there are more of chefs who are doing this now, he didn't have enough jobs. So to help him get more jobs, I told him to do a twist.
Yeah.
And the twist is based on rich people's problems. These people who their food is not an issue for them. Their problem is that rich people have rich people problems.
Yeah.
And what is a person's problem is everybody in their phone,
Yeah.
in their room, nobody in the living room,
Yeah.
nobody in the kitchen, nobody in the dining room.
Yeah. There is no connection.
Yeah. So, because everybody is, living separately.
Yeah.
Nobody is connecting. So I said, instead of being a chef that comes to your house and cooks,
Yeah.
be a chef that not only cooks,
Yeah.
but also connects families together. Because that's what rich people need.
Yeah.
And he started changing his speech. He started changing his message. He's booking more clients.
Yeah.
Because how does he do that? Then he tells me, Harish, how am I going to do this? I'm a chef. I don't know how to connect people together. And so I said, what you do is, you need, when you go to an event or to a party or something, then you need to connect people. You need to have the food prepared. So make the family members part of your crew.
Yeah.
Help them, make them, prepare, the vegetables, whatever, ingredients you need prepared.
Yeah.
Let them participate. By doing it, they'll come together.
Yeah.
And because they've contributed in the preparation of the food that you will be cooking,
Yeah.
when they eat it, they'll enjoy it more.
Yeah.
Because there is some sweat
It has went.
equity into it.
Yeah. True.
Yeah. So, again, so people can't stick to just what they've been doing.
Yeah.
They need to be, they need to, they need to change their messaging. If whatever message they're using it's not working,
Yeah.
then they have to change, and they have to also understand their clients' problems.
Yeah.
If you don't address the big pain points of your clients, then you have no purpose there.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's take a short break. Talk to our media team that is not putting the number on the screen.
Oh, we've got over 1,100.
I try to.
It's supposed to be on the TikTok phone. You put the number on the screen. For people who want to call in, ask your business questions, please call the number that is going to be on the screen in 5 minutes.
Okay.
While we put a break, we'll just come and put it there. Yes.
It's not that easy.
Hmm?
Try it even commercial student.
Let me see.
While they're fixing it, let me give you another example of
Do you mind? Let me.
clarity of message. I used to I used to sell construction services, or I used to help people build dream houses in London. And my clients will call me with a number of other builders, and my pitch to them would be, if it was JD that I was speaking to, I would say, thank you, Mr. JD, for inviting me to help you build your dream house. I can only afford to build 3 dream houses in a year. So I'm very fussy with the clients I work with. I'll be expensive, I'll take longer to build your house, but it will be done right. It will be overbuilt, over-engineered, over-specified. Even 15 years later, even if your bulb goes, 20 years later, your bulb goes, I'll come and fix it. And while I'm saying this, my client is calculating in their mind, how long is he going to take? 20% more time, I can wait. How more expensive is it going to be? 15%, I can afford it. But I want that 20-year guarantee that he's offering. I want that peace of mind. So I moved away from selling construction services to selling peace of mind. And by saying that I can only afford to do 3 houses and I'm very fussy, and I start with the negative first. I'm very fussy, I'm expensive, I'll take longer. And then sell what I'm going to sell, which is peace of mind. That helped me, bag more jobs, bag more contracts. And every time I did that, then the client would say, Mr. Dabasia, hold on. They'll go out, tell the other builders that they're no longer required. They'll come back to me and say, Mr. Dabasia, when can you fit us in? Now they are eager, no price, no nothing. They are eager to just sign up with me. And I used to, in the early days when I moved from Nairobi to London, in the early days I used to be bad at these things. And, I would get a phone call, I would get somebody calling me and say, Harish, we got your number from so-and-so. Can you come and see our job? I want to build a house, I want to build a kitchen, I want to build an extension, I want to do something. And I'll do a whole day's work, rush, eat, not eat, and rush there, prepare the documents, payment schedule, work schedule, everything, send it out, follow it up with a phone call 3-4 days later, and every time I'll get an excuse. Oh, your price is too high. Oh, we found another person. Oh, we just needed the price, blah, blah, blah. And 2 months later, I went through, I was passing by the site, and I see, some Eastern European working on the project. And, he's using my paperwork. He's using my payment schedule. He's using my, work schedule, just with different figures. And I said, this is being abused. I need to change what I'm doing. I can't be running around like a headless chicken. I need to put a filter system to make sure that this time wasters are eliminated from the process. I need only, qualified leads to come to me. So I came up with the concept of, so every time I had a phone call, I would say, they would phone again and say, Mr. Dabasia, we found you, we've been given your number by so-and-so. Can you come and, build this for me? And I would say, I would love to, but before I do that, is it possible for you to come and see one of my projects that I'm working on and meet my previous clients? The project, you will get to know the workmanship and the size of my team and my abilities. By talking to my clients, you will know, my relations with my clients. And out of 10 calls, 8 of them will disqualify themselves. Oh, we just needed a price. Oh, we we don't have time. Blah blah blah. Of the 2 people that came on site and met my client, one will come straight to say, Mr. Dabasia, we spoke to Mrs. Brown. She's impressed. She loves the house that you built for her, and particularly the roof light that you did for her and you didn't charge her.
Amazing.
That's amazing. When can you start on our project? No price, no nothing. Just want to start. And then the second person will come and say, Mr. Dabasia, you asked us to do these things, we've done it, now can you come and survey the project? I'll go prepare the documents, email it again, but the proposal will go without the price. And it was by design and deliberate.
Yeah.
As soon as I send out the email, whatever, they receive it, I get a phone call. Mr. Dabasia, you sent us a proposal, it has no price. And I said, it's deliberate. You need to come to my office for the price.
Yeah.
And out of that, 25% will get annoyed and they wouldn't bother.
Yeah.
The 75% that came, I would get another half a job.
Yeah.
From that. And it was a system for me to, qualify the leads that I was getting to eliminate the time wasters.
Yeah.
In most businesses, you will have this issue where, a lot of your inquiries, a lot of your, requests will be for price because they want to compare it with somebody else, will be to see your availability, it will be for other things.
Yeah.
They really don't want to give you the job. They've got somebody in their mind and they just need something to compare it with.
Yeah.
So why should I become a comparison site
Yeah.
for others? And I used to give detailed documentation on payment schedule, work schedules and everything, and it was being abused, so I stopped doing that. And now I was focusing more and giving better services to the clients that I had on my books.
Yeah.
I didn't have to waste my time running around like a headless chicken.
Yeah.
For the clients that just wanted a price from me or just wanted to waste my time.
Yeah.
So you need to have a qualification process.
Yeah.
In any business, in any services.
Yeah. To weed out the time wasters.
Yeah, and sometimes you will think, am I not going to lose more business?
Yeah.
And I had those doubts too,
Mm.
but it's not the case. You are, by having qualified leads, people who are, by adding friction and making them come and do things for you, they're committing to it. It also gave me 2 or 3 hours to connect with them, to understand what their requirements was, to understand their desires, to understand their project.
Yeah.
Without, having to, use the midlight lamp to work out the prices for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Because like you said, also if you're clear about your price, people just sort themselves out. It's like hotels or anything.
Yeah, so people who want 5-star,
Yeah.
will pay a 5-star price.
Mm-hmm.
People who want a 3-star
Yeah. Pay
will look for a 3-star price.
Yeah.
So people will categorize themselves in the different price brackets
Yeah.
that suits them.
Yeah. Because I had this thing that if you have high prices, you'll attract people who pay high prices. If you're clear about your high price, people will pay the high prices. If you're clear about having a lower price, you'll have a lower price. But the middle, where you're like, whoever comes, I'll just ask them which they want to pay, that's where businesses go and die.
Okay, so if, let's say, the average price of a cup of coffee is $5.
Yeah.
So this is 1 cup,
Yeah.
the middle cup.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to sell the large cup
Yeah.
for maybe $8 and the small cup for maybe $4,
Yeah.
depending on how close I put it to each other, I can categorically say which one I want to sell. If I want to sell the big one, then I'll reduce the price to around $7,
$7.
and I'll sell more of the
Bigger cup.
the larger cups.
Yeah.
If I want to sell the middle cups, then I'll change the price to $9, and people will find the $5
One much cheaper.
much a better value for money, and this is the one that they'll order.
Yeah.
And even if you look at in most restaurant businesses, I have a few friends who are in the restaurant businesses, and some restaurants have so much choice, and that is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
There is a reason why McDonald's has no more than 21 items.
Yeah. There's this story you used to say of is it the Polish shoe man or something?
Yeah. So there is there was a very popular and a very effective salesman. He and his story is coined as two but not three. So what he would do is that a lady would come or somebody would come to his shop to buy shoes, and they would say, "Oh, can you take this out for me?" So he would take it out. They'll try it. They'll check the color out. They'll work on it. Then they will say, "Can I have the other one?" And he will give it to them.
Yeah.
And then they are still searching for something else, and they would say, "Can I have the third one?" And he would say, "Two, but not three. From this two, which is the one that you want me to put it back, for me to be able to take the other one out."
Yeah.
And what happens is that it happens with children as well. It happens with most people as well. If you offer assortment of 5 cornflakes to a child,
Yeah.
they get confused.
Yeah.
They have paralysis of choice.
Yeah.
And
trouble
choosing, and they'll say, "Too much choice. I don't want to eat egg breakfast today."
Yeah.
Yeah. And instead, if the parent just did this and said, "Okay, today, Kevin, you only have 2 choices. You can have Cocoa Pops,
Yeah.
or you can have Vitabix.
Yeah.
What are you going to choose today, Kevin?"
Yeah. Good Cocoa Chops.
Yeah. "Oh, I will have the Cocoa Pops," and
Yeah.
and the choice is done.
Yeah. Because it's 2. You have to only decide one.
Yeah. There is no confusion.
Yeah.
There is no paralysis of choice.
Yeah.
There is not too much choice.
Yeah.
And I see classical IT people coming up with gold, silver, bronze, and diamond, and having 5 or 6 different packages. That's confusion.
Yeah. So I also want to ask you another question about, you talk about the whole principle of 80% of your results come from 20% of your work. How do you?
Yeah, it's called a Pareto's law.
Yeah.
And Pareto did this in around 1800, where he found that 80% of the land in Italy was owned by 20% of Italian citizens. And then he started applying it in other industries, and other, he realized that this law is applicable in most things, not only for land but also for businesses, for business owners.
Yeah.
And like classical, we asked the physiotherapist, where does 80% of your revenue comes from?
Yeah.
Until I asked him, he didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he said that 80% of his revenue comes from prescribed patients, patients who are told to do hydrotherapy, patients who are told to do
Physiotherapy.
Physiotherapy, 10 sessions of physiotherapy.
Yeah.
To start walking again, or start standing upright, or after a surgery or something. So I said, if that is the case, then you need to advertise more of that. You need to focus on that. You need to specialize in that.
Yeah.
The walk-ins, you need to increase the price.
Yeah.
So that you can focus on this customers, and by increasing the price on that, he's going to have a better margin, and he will be able to focus more on the
20%
on the 20% that is bringing 80% of the revenue.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it happens in everything. It happened in my construction business. It happened in my solar business.
Yeah.
It happened in my hydro business. All my renewable businesses. It was the same. You know, a few customers were giving me all the business,
Yeah.
and it always comes to 2 or 3
Yeah.
clients that give you 80% of the work or your revenue.
Yeah.
You know, you have others that come and go and come and go. People who are dabbling.
Yeah.
You know, and we pay too much attention to them. We focus too much on this walk-ins who want the best discount.
Yeah.
Give us some examples of car sales things that you did, and you would have go out of your way to please them, to give them discounts, and still they will come and the sale will not happen.
I mean that is very common for most people, as they already know, because
no, tell us your car salesman journey and car salesman experiences.
I mean the de facto is that most people like cars, and if they see a good car, they are going to come and ask you what is the price. But the thing is, if they ask the price, if they start talking about discounts, you let them, then you have failed already, because like you said, they just want the feeling of like, oh, I got a discount, and then they don't actually buy the thing.
No, like artists get paid twice.
Yeah.
They get paid in applause and they get paid in money.
Yeah.
Similarly, a bargainer also gets paid by winning an argument.
Yeah.
Of discount. By getting you to get to your bottom.
Yeah.
Is a win for them. That win is enough. The importance of buying the car.
Yeah.
It becomes irrelevant.
Yeah.
And also, you found that whenever you are in a better position, you are in a your pockets are full, or you are full. You didn't care if this customer bought it or not.
Yeah.
You managed to bag more sales. How?
Yeah, because I think it all comes back down to desperateness. How desperate are you for something? It's like if you're broke and you feel like you don't have money, money is not going to come at all.
It's like you chasing a girl.
Yeah.
You chase a girl and she'll run away.
It's very funny.
Eh?
Yeah. And then at the peak where you're like, I don't even care about girls, all of them are coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So instead of chasing them, become a magnet. Attract them.
That is where it gets hard to actually stay in that state of like just letting it flow to you. Because now, let's say it's a girl, you've been chasing her for months, and then you're like, I give up. Then you focus on yourself, and now she starts calling you. Now you start getting other girls calling you, and then and then you're like, oh, I think it's back. And then you try to call them again, and now they all disappear. And now you stay in that loop of like chase, leave them, they come back, chase. So I think.
Okay, let's dive deep into this now.
How do you get over?
Let's dive deep into this boy girl scenario now.
Yeah. How do you get over being desperate?
Okay.
Especially that it's Valentine's Day. It's Valentine's Day, eh?
It is. Oh, I forgot it is Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And yes, happy Valentine to all the Valentines.
Yeah, to all the Valentines.
And the Valentinos.
Yeah. I actually looked more into the story, and I found out that it has nothing to do with chocolates or flowers. It's just that the story is like Saint Valentine was like a saint in the Catholic.
Okay, so in Catholic churches, anyone who does 3 miracles becomes a saint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the Roman Empire period, they used to get couples married without the kings knowing about it.
Okay.
And so they executed him.
Oh, so he was crucified.
Yeah, he was crucified for the sake of.
Okay, another case of Jesus.
Yeah. And as always, when it comes to marketing people, as good as we are, we have to put some things on it. So the marketing people saw that as an opportunity and decided that today they should give flowers they should give chocolates.
Mm-hmm.
So, not to ruin your Valentine's traditions, but yeah,
No, please do enjoy your Valentines. The Valentines and the Valentinos, please do enjoy your partner's company
Yeah.
and your partner's, gratitude and fulfillment. But again, this is not the only thing that the market has. The pumpkin festival, that's that Halloween.
Yeah, the Halloween.
The Father's Day, the Mother's Day.
Yeah.
These are all marketing gimmicks. The Black Friday, there are lots of events that have been created for marketing purposes.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola is a brilliant example. Father Christmas used to wear green before,
Yeah.
but because Coca-Cola
Getting the money from them.
yeah, so I say that getting people to your shop
Yeah.
is marketing.
Yeah.
Once they are in the shop
It's your
Closing
job to
the
close
deal.
it. Yeah, it sells.
and asking for the credit card details
Yeah.
is sales.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of businessmen and women are shy
Yeah.
or hesitant
Mm.
or not good at closing deals. They need to become good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let's do a role play in which, let's say, I'm selling you this.
The pen.
Yeah, I'm selling you this pen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
and or you want to buy this pen.
Yeah.
So which one do you want to do? You want to be the seller or do you want to be the buyer?
I want to be the buyer. 'Cause- yeah.
Okay.
I've heard a lot of the whole things about sell me the pen. Yeah. So I want to hear how you sell the pen. Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is the pen you are interested in.
Yeah.
Hold it.
Yeah.
Okay. And now you're going to come to the shopkeeper.
Yeah. So I want to buy this pen. No, actually, because I don't want the pen, I want to know, like, how do you sell something to someone if they are like, they don't show interest first? Because we've talked about how, like, if they show interest first in the thing, you can always try to make them like sell it to themselves. Like, why did you pick this pen? Why did you choose?
Okay, let's do that first, and then
Yeah.
you will do the other one.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Kamara. Of all the pens in my shop,
Yeah.
why did you choose this most expensive one?
Yeah, I picked it because it's black and I like black.
Okay, but what are you going to use this pen for?
I'm going to use it to sign documents.
Oh, so this is going to be, your a tool for making contracts.
Yeah.
Okay, and the contract pen needs to function. It has to function immaculately.
Yeah.
You can't have a sign that's broken in between, or you have to re-sign again.
Yeah.
Okay. This was on the market
Yeah.
for $12.
Yeah.
I can do it
Yeah.
for $10. I have this one piece left.
Yeah.
Can we shake on it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one transaction. Okay. Now the other one, the other scenario you wanted to do.
The other scenario is, how do you sell something that someone doesn't already know they need?
That's a difficult problem.
Yeah.
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 Most people don't know that they need mentoring.
Yeah. And they don't even know what the word mentoring means.
Yeah. So it's mostly business coaching or something like that.
Yeah.
And so you may have to place it, or flat on the. So they don't know what mentoring is, and they are used to using coaches and business coaching.
Yeah. Training.
So business training and business skills and things like that. So you have to educate them. You have to educate your audience. You have to educate your, your prospects.
Yeah.
And Okay, there's a classic example of, the Indian traders coming to Africa,
Yeah.
and the Africans were used to wearing leathers,
Yeah.
and this Indian trader comes with a shipload of
Clothing.
clothes, but nobody is interested in buying his clothes.
Yeah.
So what does he do? He can't take the
Clothes back to India.
back to India.
Yeah.
So he starts offering free tailoring.
Yeah.
So he calls the leaders of the community
Mm-hmm.
and says, the leather you're wearing, sometimes it stinks.
Yeah.
It's very heavy.
Mm.
And don't you feel hot in it?
Yeah.
I've got something that will suit
Yeah.
a king like you, a chief like you.
Yeah.
Come,
I'll show you.
I'll show you. He will make some clothes for him, tie it up on him, and the chief now goes to the village with his new
Clothing.
Yeah. Orders starts flowing in.
Yeah.
So it's called influencer marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you influence the highest
Yeah.
people of society.
Mm-hmm. And everyone else.
Chiefs and kings and the sheikhs and the sultans.
Yeah.
And everybody else follows.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So it's that so he had to educate.
Yeah.
The garment Indian trader had to educate people who didn't know what clothes were.
Yeah.
What they are, by getting them to experience. And we see this time and again on in supermarkets where you have tester biscuits and tester jams and tester sauces and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people I went to Switzerland last year, and there was a new ice cream company that wanted to launch in Europe and in Switzerland, and what their marketing was brilliant. They created a 20% size of the original ice cream bar.
Yeah.
And started dishing it out in every train station, in every platform, and all the flavors.
Yeah.
You can they'll give you one at a time so that you don't abuse it. And they started giving you the almond flavor, then you would go, you finish it, you go and get the pistachio flavor, you finish it, you go and get the orange flavor and all that. So they had 5 or 6 different flavors. But the bar was a 20th the size of the normal bar.
Yeah.
So if the normal bar was maybe 70 grams, this was like 14 grams bar. But it's the same, just a miniature version of the original thing.
Yeah.
And they leased the whole of Geneva.
Yeah.
I was in Geneva at that time.
Yeah.
And everybody was eating it. Everybody was testing it.
Yeah.
And straight away, they captured on just that marketing campaign 20% of the market share.
Yeah.
Okay, it cost them money to produce this different size of ice creams, but it was the best spend that they did, because they gave them 20% of the market share from the first week.
Yeah.
In all production, the biggest problem is that you build up a factory, you build up the cold storage, you have built up everything, the supply chain, and you wait for the customers to come. Your factory is sitting idle.
Yeah.
It's this way he ensured that the factory was never idle. From day one, he created demand.
Yeah. From day one.
From the first weekend.
Yeah.
Blitz. And he may have only done it 2 weeks.
Yeah. Would you say business growth is predominantly based on marketing?
Yes. Steve Jobs was a great marketer.
Yeah. He understood the art.
He understood the art, and this popular video of him identifying what this jeans pocket is for.
Yeah.
by putting his iPad in it,
Yeah.
iPod in it,
Yeah.
and say this pocket was created for, that launched the iPod,
Yeah.
and it was the iPod that brought the iPhone and the iPad and all these other things.
Yeah.
But you have to also be a good storyteller
Yeah.
in marketing. The story I tell about Joroge and him scratching his head,
Yeah.
it's storytelling.
Mm.
You need to have the art of
Storytelling. Yeah.
if it is not your client's stories, it is your story.
Yeah.
But you have to learn how to present, information in palatable form.
Yeah.
And storytelling is a very effective, useful art in communication, in marketing, and in sales.
Yeah. And I think for business, it's very important to know who your customer segment is, and you have to very well determine who is your customer avatar that you're actually targeting. Their demographic, their age, their gender, and everything, their location, everything. Because
again, our classic failure was, we get a lot of engagement on TikTok.
yeah,
But very few conversions or no conversions at all from the TikTok engagement,
yeah,
because the TikTok community is poor. And a lot of the DMs and everything is for funding, is for jobs,
yeah,
not for can you help me grow my business?
yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So again, which platforms you advertise on, which platforms you use, it's okay. You need to have a mixed bag of things, but again, depending on what services and what price point you're targeting, it is right that you need to know your demographic, you need to know your customer.
No, it's like you said about Steve Jobs. He was very good at identifying. It's either or Nike itself. It has its what it stands for is for the highest performing athletes in the world.
Yeah.
And people buy through that. They're like, if I buy this racket, if I buy this shoe, I will be like this person.
Yeah, and many of the products Apple produces don't have guides. They don't have manuals, and it is deliberate.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs says that my products are intuitive. People will learn how to use them without me producing a manual for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same with if you want to provide a successful product or a service, then your product and your service should be intuitive.
Yeah.
Like Apple is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's wind this down, and I think what's the time?
It's around 12:05.
Yeah. Okay. We are 5 minutes over time. Please forgive us for going over time, and we'll join you again next Saturday. Thank you.